You're watching Pyro Media Network.
Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to She is Shenomenal. I am your host, Tasha Champion, the Shenomenal coach of Champion Empowerment. Always teaching you to love the champion you are. And we are back with a brand new episode, and you guys are going to have a whole lot of fun today. I have the incredible, you guys know my girl, Mika Morris. She is a friend to the show. She is one of my Shenomenal women. She's one of my Shenomenal team members. So if you've been to any of my events, you are very familiar with her. And then I have her co-star from their show, the April and Tomeeka show, April Watkins. So I'm going to have a really good, fun conversation with them, but also very, very informative. If you guys are not familiar with their show, go to Instagram now and look up the April and Tomeeka show. Like their page so you can be notified when they go live on Thursdays, because they drop a lot of knowledge and information along with fun and entertainment as well. So I'm going to be interviewing them today, and I'm really, really excited to have them. But before we begin all that, there's a couple of things that I want to just kind of put out there. So number one, Black History Month just ended, but we all need to be mindful that we are Black history and we don't end on February 28th, February 29th, every 4 years. Like, we are every day. We are Black 365. We are Black history, right? We are Black legacy. And we need to really, really get into this mindset of making sure that we're building legacies, because yes, we have the legacy of all of those before us, but it's time for us to really, really come together in a much bigger way, bigger than we have been, and really honor and say, like, what legacy do I want to leave? Because again, you are Black history. You are here. You are making history every day. So make it a good one. right? The second thing I want to say is now we're in International Women's Month. So we're celebrating here on Shenomenal. We celebrate women every week, which is always an honor. But in this month specifically, it's International Women's Month. And I was watching a video, should have played it today, but I was watching a video from Kelly Rowland of Destiny's Child, and she was talking about the support that we need with one another. And she says, like, when your friends say they have something, show up for them, right? And a lot of times we'll say, like, oh, I'm just going to go to this little event. I'm going to go to this little grand opening for my friend. Like, it's not little to them. And we need you to bring that same big energy into the space where they need your big energy, right? We want to celebrate one another. And she was mentioning that. And I just want to encourage you guys. I say this all the time, but I really want to encourage y'all, show up for your friends, show up for your Black sisters, show up for those that you care about, because we really all need each other to help each other be successful. Are you always going to be available? No, you might not be, but maybe you're not. For instance, maybe you're not free to watch something live, but can you put it on your phone? Can you share it? Like, what are some different ways? But we got to come together as women, especially as women of color, especially as Black women, because if we are not supporting each other, if we are not uplifting each other, nobody else is going to. And it's not even up to the Black men. It's not up to anybody else. We have to do it for each other first. And so I'm just committed to being in a space where I get to honor a Black woman that I see. I get to celebrate her. I get to support her. Is it all fun and games when you're kind of like in the drama or watching some of these reality shows? It's fine. You know what I mean? But don't get so caught up that you lose sight of really why you're here, that you lose sight of the way that we could all be connected and supporting and loving on one another, because I can assure you it has to be us first. So I am going to really encourage you, when you see another Black woman, tilt your head and give her a smile, wave your hand, tell her she looked nice, tell her she looks beautiful. When you see your friends are posting things that they are proud of, share it. Ask them, how can you support them? If they are having an event, is there a way that you can sponsor? Is there a way that you can attend? Like, what do they need, right? And so this is how we got to start really, really coming together. Let's not let it be only about Black History Month or only about, Women's History Month or International Women's History Month. Let this be every day. Because see, I'm a Black woman every day. I'm a Black woman every day. I'm a Black mom every day. I'm a Black sister every single day. And I want to show up in that energy for all of you. So that is my spiel for today. It was on my heart to say, and I wanted to make sure I said it, right? So we're going to take a quick commercial break, because when I get back, we are going to interview, I think they call themselves like the Instagram aunties, but they are a lot of fun, but also they really drop a lot of knowledge. And I watched an episode recently of the April and Tomeeka show where they were talking about voting. And we're going to talk about that today. So we'll talk about the things that they are doing, how they are progressing, the things that they're doing with their lives and together. But we're also going to talk about, what does the power of your vote really look like this year more than any other year you have ever voted? Because it's far more important than any other year. You got to vote this year. So if you have your young 18, 19, 20-year-olds that don't know what they're doing, please bring them here to this show, because it's going to be a lot of knowledge. And our Black men definitely need to be aware of what's getting ready to go down if this vote does not go in our favor. We all have to show up. So let's take a quick commercial break, and I will be back with the beautiful April Watkins and Mika Morris from the April and Tomeeka Show.
because self-care should be luxurious. Luxem Noir.
Welcome back. If you are just joining, thank you for joining and being a part of She is Shenomenal. And I am ready to bring on my beautiful guests, April Watkins and Tomeeka Morris. Ladies, hi. Oh my God, I'm so happy to have you guys on the show. Any opportunity I get to watch the April and Tomeeka show, I do, because number one, it's a lot of fun. Let's be clear, it's a lot of fun. But then you guys also make sure y'all are putting in very pertinent information that people need to be aware of. And I'm not one of those, Kwame says, hey, aunties. I'm not one of those, like, I don't stay glued to the television when it comes to politics, but I also know that this year is going to be crucial, and you guys have dropped so much knowledge. And I was like, yeah, I got to have them on my show, right? But before we even get to talk about that, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to introduce yourselves. Many of you, of course, know Tomeeka Morris. She is a Shenomenal woman. She is, I call her a life visionary coach, because I'm telling you, if you have just a little bit of a vision, she will help you bring that vision all the way into fruition. So I call her the life visionary coach. I don't know what she calls herself, but that's what I call her. And then her beautiful friend, Miss April, who has this incredible honey body, right? Collection.
Yes.
Yeah. And then y'all can see her skin is glowing. So I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. April, I'll go ahead and start with you.
Okay, I'm April Watkins. I reside in California. I have my own business. It's called Honey Body Collection. And I also co-host the April and Tomeeka show. We're going on 3 years strong. And we just talk about, we start usually with pop culture, we get into politics, and we usually end on mental health. So we're just we are uplifting women of every race, just letting them know you can do whatever you want to do. You just need sometimes a little push or that nice support from another woman. So that's basically it.
Yes, I love it. Miss Tomeeka Morris.
That is everything. I am the co-host of the April and Tomeeka show. I am now living in California. We're both East Coast. We're from the East Coast.
We're from the East Coast.
But yeah, we live in California now. We're both married with kids, and we just have fun doing the April and Tomeeka show. She's the business owner of Honey Body Collection, but she also does a podcast with her husband after I do. I also do Soversations, which I'll get back to at some point, season 2. But yeah, life is popping. It's lit.
Yeah. You can do many things.
Yes.
Of course, your passion. That's what I say.
Beautiful. Let's talk a little bit about that passion, because of course, like, yes, we're in March, we're heading into the second quarter of the year, but so many people, they always have this passion, or they have this idea of a passion of what they want to do. Oh, when a new year start, when a new year start, when a new year start. But what is your what advice do you give for people in really understanding their passion and bringing it into fruition? No, it doesn't happen overnight. And I know that people get caught up in the glam of social media, but they don't see the grind behind the doors, right? So what is, give that woman out there who has a little bit of a passion, but she's not there yet. What do you want to tell her?
I want to tell her to write it down, first of all. What is it? What is your niche, right? And then you have to
Mhm.
do baby steps. For me, it was baby steps. So while working a full-time job, I did extensive research. So my story dates back from the 90s when I was at Essence Magazine, wanting to start a nail polish company with 3 of my coworkers. I then had to move because I got married, came out to California, and I put it on the back burner. But the passion was burning. It was always there. And I just knew it was going to be my time at some point. So just make sure whatever you're doing, write steps down, start saving, talk to your significant other and make sure you have their support. And if you don't, then it's going to be a little harder. But again, this is why we do the April and Tomeeka show, because we all know we can get by with a little help from our
Friends.
Thank you.
Friends.
You only need
Yes.
one person to
believe
really
in you.
to believe in you. Tomeeka will have me going to the moon if I wasn't careful. She'd be like,
Okay, so it's not just me. Yes.
I sure can be an astronaut. Thank you. But you need a little help from your friends and just never give up. That's all I could say. Just
That's it.
chip at it one day at a time. Remember, it's a marathon, not a race. And get to the point where you can see, I don't know what the passion is. Can you sell something online? It only takes one person really to get you. If you're selling something, once that one person buys something, you are lit. You are like, okay, I can do this. So start small. You may not have a Shopify store. If the person believes in you enough, maybe they'll cash app you. Start where you are. That's the bottom line.
And keep at it.
Yes.
Just keep at it. I think some
Right.
of us,
Don't stop.
we count ourselves out before we actually finish,
Yep.
Like April said, she says, write it down. Some of y'all are visual. Do a vision board. However you need to see it, like you need to visualize the end of it.
Yep.
Like see it already happen and know that it's possible. And then just start to do little steps. But don't give up, like she said.
Right. And another thing, follow people in your niche. Whatever it is, I follow all beauty people. That's it. That's my thing. Beauty and cooking. I love to cook. So those are my 2 things. Everything beauty. So if it's, want to start a t-shirt company, follow people that make t-shirts.
Hold on, because she mentioned cooking, and you guys know I love somebody who can cook. Because I saw that golden flaky pot pie that you made from scratch yesterday. I mean, it looked like it almost looked staged. It was so perfect.
Aw, this one just had a piece.
It was so good, delicious.
She was like, I just made number 2.
And I just told her, I said, listen, quit your job. I mean, if you change careers, this will be lucrative for you.
Right. Now, you guys had mentioned something. You said you just need that one friend, or you need that support. And I want you to speak to that a little bit, because you have those people that's like, oh, don't tell nobody what you're doing. Don't tell nobody what you're doing. No new friends. Don't be bringing people into your circle. You can't trust nobody. How does that mentality serve you and not serve you?
Yeah, Tomeeka knows I don't say a lot. Like, I have a lot going on. I mean, I'm very cautious in what I say, only because people will prey on your downfall. That is a true thing. So I show them what you see, what I want you to see. I just feel like even with having our relationship segment, I don't say everything. Like, we're a married couple. Some stuff has to be for us.
Right.
The stuff I can sacred, correct. Some stuff I can talk about, or I'm not going to talk about my kids and disciplining, and like, you don't need to know everything. So I just feel like,
so you save some for yourself.
Yes, use your gut. You know what to say. You know who's jealous of you and who's not. So, just be mindful that everybody is not rooting for you. It is the truth. Seriously. So again, discernment and
Discernment.
The people you trust. And guess what? Somebody you could trust can really stab you in the back later, but your heart is pure. So the people that you trust, feed into them, get that back from them, get that appreciation and, that support from them. And don't worry about what else the world has to offer.
I think the negative Nancy's in your life, whether they're family, friends, whomever. You know who's for you, you know who's not for you. So lean into the people that's for you.
Correct.
Those people are
Right.
going to offer the most amazing. They'll pray for you.
Yes.
They will give you money. They will be at all your, like, they will show up and show out, and you don't even have to ask.
Right.
So you know who your people are. Some of y'all are trying to get the people that's not your people to be the people.
Right.
Those
Don't
aren't
force
your
That's what I was about to say. You're so busy trying.
Yeah.
Some people are so busy trying to
you miss
prove to the
that.
negative Nancy that
Yeah.
they're going to get there, and
'Cause
you're
they
you're
wanna impress
missing the
them.
people that's
Yeah.
supporting
They
you.
don't
Yes.
They're not your audience. Yeah.
They don't care,
They're not
and
your
that's
audience.
fine. You know, that they're not your people. But you mentioned it earlier, how we need to support. Your support may not come from your inner circle.
Absolutely.
It may come from outside. It may may come from the person you was riding the bus with, and you told them, "Hey, I'm da 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 da," and they're like, they'll just sow into your business. So
They're like, let me
it's
see.
not about no new friends. It's whoever you're aligned with, and alignment feels good. When it starts to feel good, those are your people. When it feels weird, and and you're trying to question and trying to make it fit, that's not your
Right.
They always say that. They said it's your inner circle is not your customer. It's not the person
Right.
next to you.
That's true.
It's so far removed,
Yeah.
and that's the people you want.
Yeah.
So
And stop
Yeah.
getting mad that it's not this
right.
person.
Because here's the deal.
Stop
How
being
many-
mad.
That happens.
Whatever you're selling, if they buy one or two, you can't bombard them. What you can ask them is, can you spread the word at your job?
Yes.
Can you give me
Can
a
you
like
post
on that?
this?
Correct.
Yes.
That's how you get them to
Yes.
support you, because that works
That's free.
far better. Yes.
And it's for and that word of mouth advertisement, it still beats
Yes.
out everything to me, because if I trust Tomeeka and she tells me about a product, I'm like, you know what? Tomeeka said it. I'm gonna go ahead and trust it, right? So you have your trusted people.
Yes.
He has his new honey poo out. Y'all, go get it.
Yep, it's coming.
Wait, so okay, because let's talk about your your body collection, because one of the things is, first of all, every single time I see you, April, you are always glowing. Now I know you have a beautiful marriage and a beautiful love life, and that plays into that shine and that glow, but there's also some ways that you are keeping up with your skin. Now, if you feel free to tell folks how old you are, because I mean, black really don't crack unless you smoke
That's
it. You
right.
are killing the game with that skin. So tell people about your skincare collection.
Okay, I'm in my 50s. I mean, if you do the math, I'm in my 50s. But yes, black does not crack. And I said yesterday, I went live, I do use a lot of SPF. Like, I've been using SPF on my skin, any, brand, but I used to use olive oil with like 15 or 30 because my grandmother, so when it first started, there was no SPF.
That's what black
right?
people
There was
use.
no SPF. And I kept asking her, what about your skin? So for me, I use the least amount of chemicals. So I used to use that. So something about that, I was like, you know what? I want to start a company that is all natural as much as possible. You know what I mean? 99% as much as I can with little preservatives. So I'm using right now, I have a facial oil that's on my website. It has a lot of different oils in it, and it cures eczema and dry skin and psoriasis, just anything that's dry like that. So I just come up with these concoctions. I do a lot of research. I stay in YouTube University, and I'm just doing the research. So I used to be a nail polish company, and I switched over to beauty. And I feel like beauty, I think people don't understand what you put in your skin is as important as what you put in your mouth, because it does seep through. So for me, for my granddaughter especially, I want her to know that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I didn't want to do a whole lot of cosmetics. I just figured I'd, kind of hone in on the body. I just feel if you feed your body and feed it the right nutrients, it will last. So that's basically it. Yeah, I have shea butter, I have body oil, I have hair oil, facial oil, and I just came up with a new product. It's called Honey Poo, and it's drops for your toilet. Very when you go in, it's like the other brand out there. I'm bigger than that brand right now because it's
that part. Yes.
So I made a sample for Tomeeka, but I put it in the droppers, and she likes it that way. But I also have the spray bottle. So I'm going to give people the option of droppers versus the spray. I have my own store. I have a physical walk-in store that it's a whole kitchen back there. I have my blenders. I have all the oils. I do everything in home, so I'm proud of
Beautiful.
it. I am truly proud of it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now I'm gonna take you guys back into this support piece because
Okay.
I feel like sometimes when you're thinking of a product or you're thinking of something, some people will go, well, everybody's doing that. Other people got skincare collections. Like, why are you going to do that? Do something that nobody else have. And I believe that your gift is your gift to bring forward, and whoever
Right.
is meant to be your customer is going to be your customer. That's what I believe. But how do you get through the noise of, well, other people are doing that, and I don't know if I can. Like, how do you stay true to April as you launch your business, as you grow your business? How do you stay true to what it is that you want to bring to the table?
You want to answer or you want me to go?
Well, you're the beauty collection.
Okay,
but
really quick.
I can piggyback on.
Okay. Because I am me and no one else can be me.
Period.
So they are buying me. And I feel
Mhm.
like that's why I have the following that I have. And if they love me, they're going to purchase my brand. And then you have to think, when you go to the grocery store, if there was only one selection of bread, we would be in trouble.
Right.
There are over 50 different brands. You're going to pick the
Mhm.
one that draws to you. You know what I mean? And that's how I get rid of the noise, because there's a brand right now, Mess in a Bottle, and I love her story because she was an architect in Baltimore working at this firm, and she decided she wanted to do this t-shirt. They thought she was crazy because how many more t-shirts can you buy? And the rest is history.
Right.
So you have to know your audience and how you're going to put a spin on it, you know?
Mhm.
And either people are going to buy it or not, but you have to just understand there's a thousands of everything. If that was the case, like, you need variety in the world. You just have to stand
Right.
firm in your product and showcase it in such a way where they're not only buying that product, they're buying a piece of you. What's your story? What do you stand
I
for?
love that.
And that's all you can do, because there's thousands of books, there's thousands of everything.
That's right.
So you just have to know
I
my
love
product
that.
is different because of ABC. And my product is
Right.
different
Now, yeah.
because I do it from scratch. I know what I want to have on my body, and I'm giving you the best that I can give you. And that's it. And I'm just
Right.
trying to
And
also
it's
educate.
all with love.
Yeah, it's with love. Like, you
I
gotta,
love that part, the love.
yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
energy
it's
of
the
it.
energy, right? I'm in there happy. I'm making this knowing that a lot of people don't think about their skin. So I'm going to solve that problem for you. I'm going to make sure whatever you're putting on yourself or your baby, your children, it's not full of preservatives and things you can't read, and you have no
Right.
idea what.
I love it. I love it. Mika, you wanted to piggyback off of that?
She said a mouthful. At the end of the day, that's why you have options. And I think nobody should ever listen to anyone who says you should do that because it's too many of those things. It's
Mhm.
over 7 billion people on the planet.
That part. And to her conversations,
You
like,
only need a few.
if you
only need a few
right,
that's consistent, and they will get you. Those are your people. So you're not trying to get
right,
the whole everything. You're just trying to get your people, and you can get your people. It's
and
enough
you
room at
can
the
get your
table.
people.
Yeah, it's enough room at the table
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yes, she's amazing.
I recently saw a post from a business coach right after the Super Bowl, and she was talking about how people are fearful of raising their prices. Well, people aren't going to be able to afford it. I need to make sure I stay comparable to everybody else. And she made a good point. She said, if you just watch the Super Bowl, you had over, 80,000 people. Most of those stadiums hold about 80,000 people. And if you think about how much a Super Bowl ticket is,
Mhm.
those
Honey,
same people can be your client. So stop thinking small where you can't raise your prices or you can't get your value, because
right.
there's people out there spending their money every single day. And I really want to make it more of a habit to make sure I'm connecting with and buying more Black owned products. And so,
Right.
and I keep complimenting your skin. My mom Priscilla said it in the comments. She was like, your skin is beautiful, April. So
Thank
it really, really is. Oh,
And I
so
have
okay,
no
we
makeup
oh,
on.
go ahead. Oh my God. So you just make us all jealous right now.
But the
Thanks,
product-
April.
The products feel so good. So yeah, honeybodycollection.com.
Thank you.
Get your girl.
You're right. You know, I'm gonna make sure we throw that
They
in before
feel
we
good.
end the show. I'll make sure.
It's like luxury on your
Yeah.
skin. So
I like
definitely,
that.
it is.
Luxury.
You can
I
have
like that.
Thank
luxury
you.
on your skin.
Yes.
I really like that. Okay, so we have to take a quick commercial break. And we've
Okay.
talked about business, we've talked about friendship, we've talked about support. But when we come back, I want to dive into this being 2024, and we have a major vote that is happening. A major vote that needs to happen, and there's a lot of work that we have to do, and you guys
Yes.
brought some fresh perspective to it. So let's take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into why is this year the most important vote of probably your life. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Are you ready for enlightening conversations that transcend boundaries? Get ready for Conversations with Clergy, brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network. In partnership with the world's largest publicly funded international collaboration, the HVTN is dedicated to evaluating vaccines to prevent HIV and COVID-19. But their impact doesn't stop there. The HVTN is at the forefront of advancing vaccinology, social and behavioral sciences, statistics, immunology, and even contributing to the research on tuberculosis and COVID-19 vaccines. By supporting Conversations with Clergy, the HVTN not only brings you thought-provoking discussions, but also contributes to the global effort to combat infectious diseases. Tune in, stay informed, and be a part of the change. Conversations with Clergy, supported by the HVTN, empowering conversations, empowering lives. Join us in this journey of knowledge, understanding, and progress. Conversations with Clergy, proudly brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network, because together we can make a difference.
Hey pilots, did you know that you can now catch the electrifying sounds of Bulletin Flight Radio anywhere you go? Yes, you heard it right. Tune in to the high-flying beats and soaring melodies by downloading the TuneIn app on your mobile device. Just search for Bulletin Flight Radio and hit play. It's that easy. And if you have a smart device like Alexa or Google, just say, "Hey Google," or "Alexa, play Bulletin Flight Radio on TuneIn." Experience the rush of adrenaline wherever you are. Listen to Bulletin Flight Radio on TuneIn using your Alexa or Google devices. Soaring through the skies has never sounded this good. Don't miss out on the ultimate musical journey. Tune in now to Bulletin Flight Radio on TuneIn and let the music take you on an unforgettable ride. Get ready to elevate your listening experience. Brought to you by Bulletin Flight Radio.
Welcome back. I am chatting with the beautiful Instagram aunties of the April and Tomeeka show, April Watkins and Tomeeka Morris, who really has just a very fun podcast every Thursday on Instagram. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to have them on today is to talk about this upcoming election, because every week they really drop just another piece of information of why it's so important and what we, especially as people of color, Black folks, what we are really up against should this vote, should that person end up in office. And we have to really come together to fight against that, right? I won't dignify it with a name, but you guys really drop a lot of information every week about that. And I wanted you guys to just share a little bit some of the things that you've shared on your show, some of the facts, because we all know, like, we're literally headed towards having a Hitler in America type situation if we don't all get to the polls. So, Mika, I'm going to start with you, and you guys can bounce off of each other. It's totally fine with me. But what is this vote, especially? Why is this vote probably the most important vote of our lives?
You sound so scared, Tasha. I guess we should be, right? Listen, I'm making exit plans just in case. Because the unfortunate thing is, there is this whole thing around that person, blacks for this person, right? And unfortunately, because everybody is under the impression that out of the two, like, which they're both bad candidates. And let's be clear, I am not very happy with the president right now. However, we've already seen what a Trump presidency looks like. I don't like it. I don't like that, abortion rights have been taken back. 50% of this, half of the states in the United States, they cannot have abortions. That's dealing with your own choice as a woman. Why is white men making that choice for us? Number one. Something that's happened in our lifetime that I would have never thought could have happened, but we're here now, and that's half the states. So imagine if he got back in and they said all of it. And they don't care if it's rape. They don't care if the baby has an issue. They don't care about anything. They said, listen, we're going to populate this nation, and it's going to be, and I think it's mainly about white women, who are not having enough babies, and they feel like that they're getting outnumbered. So why are we all being penalized for that number? You understand?
Well, they make it so obvious. So they're like all women. No, they really mean their women.
It's literally about their women only.
Absolutely.
So we're all being penalized. Then there's the DEI conversation. In our day, it was called affirmative action. Now it's DEI. Well,
diversity,
equity, and inclusion.
Right.
Okay.
Equity and inclusion.
Okay. So what happened with DEI is they're saying that we no longer want y'all to have that option. We don't, you go to college, it's going to be just based off of your test scores. It's going to be based off of you can only get the job if you
are qualified. We know better than that.
We are qualified, right? But when you put us against them, every time they're going to get it. If you don't,
they're going to win.
If you don't have a DEI program, they fired in this last year alone.
Yes.
All the DEI representatives for all of these companies. My problem with that, y'all, and if we're not paying attention, it's just going to all be rolled back. It's like we're in 2024. It feels like 1964. And if y'all not paying attention, y'all will vote for him thinking all is well. Well, guess what? When George Floyd died, it feels like to me, everybody said, hey, we understand your plight. Everybody put their little black square up. Everybody donated money. Right. Now, all of those companies are saying we no longer want to include diversity. We no longer want to hire based off of diversity. We no longer want to give college entrances based off of diversity. So what will the boardrooms look like in a minute? What will the schools look like? The schools are already off balance. So it's going to be a hot mess. I mean, yesterday was important for you all to get out for local elections, as well as, at the end of the day, the presidential vote didn't really count because it was either going to be Trump or Biden at this point.
But first of all, can we talk about how is Trump eligible to even run? So that's disheartening for young Black Americans, these young kids in college, because it's mind blowing. You mean that he can start, what did they call it? A riot. I say a riot. Let's not give it.
That's what
a riot.
He can overthrow the government.
Exactly.
He can go into the government, overthrow it.
Right. People were killed, like 2 or 3 people killed following his orders. And we're even contemplating him on the ballot. The same person that said, okay, they stole the election on this day, we're going to act a fool. And they did.
And they did.
Too much.
Not only can he run, he's eligible to be our president again, even if he gets arrested for all the crimes that he's done.
And that's really what he wants.
He can be arrested behind bars is running the country.
That
Make sense.
they're giving
Not
them too
only
much
that,
power.
Not only that, Joe Blow down the street, who just got arrested for whatever reason, cannot even vote, but he can be president.
Yeah, I don't.
Right.
That's the country we're living in right now.
Mika, share the story. You talked about the young 18-year-old who was late to jury duty and what happened to him, because I really, really need our youth to understand what we are up against. And like Kwame said, if Obama had a traffic ticket, they would have barred him from running. Let alone
Obama couldn't be friends with his pastor who married him, who had his child.
Yeah, they had a lot of roadblocks for him. He couldn't do.
Right.
It's just, listen, in a Trump society, things have really changed. He's literally put in 100 or so judges, okay, that were young.
Oof.
And they will not leave office until they're old, okay? So those people,
not to mention the Supreme Court.
Not even just the Supreme Court. So think about Supreme Court in the 50 states.
Right.
He put them in different states.
Yes, he
so
did.
For the laws that used to exist, won't even, that's why Florida's able to do what they're doing with banning books. Florida was the first one to do DEI. And now it's a trend now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
but tell them about the young boy in Florida.
Little things. Okay, so the young boy in Florida, he had a court jury duty.
Yes.
He wakes up late. Gets there, but he wakes up late. Oh, they reprimanded him. They put him in jail, I think I forgot how many days.
It wasn't long.
It wasn't long, but it was too many days.
It was
he went to jail. They put him in jail for a few days, and then the judge reprimanded him. Yeah. He apologized to the judge. He was like, I'm so sorry I overslept. He had school and 2 jobs, and he was taking care of his granddaddy. The boy was tired. You can't even be black and tired in this country, okay? And he was 18 years old, and he has a record now. And I just didn't understand that.
Yeah, reprimanded him like, this is your responsibility. You need to be on time.
Because you're the only one who's representing your people, basically.
That is awful.
And we needed you. So this is what we're up against. We're up against a lot of those little things that we don't pay attention to. In DC, right now, they just changed the crime laws. And of course, they affect little brown and black boys more than anybody. If 2 or more of them are gathered together and they have a mask, hood, if they look suspicious of anything, they have a right to do whatever they want to do because of crime being so out of control. Well, who let crime be out of control?
Right. So it was how many? 2 or more gathered?
2 or more gathered.
That's
us.
If 2
of your kids, they're brothers, if they're outside having a conversation.
I have 3 sons.
Yeah, 3. They cannot be in a huddle outside without being targeted, without being arrested, and it will be a legit arrest. If the police chase them, and God forbid if they kill them, it's a legit shot because we suspected them of doing something.
Mob activity. Yes.
So, and we always talk about the smash and grabs and all of these things. I can pull up several reports of who the smash and grabbers are for real. It's the white people who sell stuff on Amazon. They paid your sons, your daughters to go in there, get all the loot. Because I always thought, where's the loot at? Where can I buy it at?
Where they selling it at?
Where they selling that? They're not bringing it home.
They not.
They can't bring it home. They're not selling it to each other, but they've taken so much stuff out of the store. So where's it at? They found warehouses where white women, Asian people have been, and I'm not saying just all, but it's the criminal activity that's way beyond them.
Right.
Okay. And it's people that have means and warehouses to store the loot.
Right.
And able to sell it online. Meanwhile, your little crazy kid that signed up for it, not even knowing that, of course they told them you're going to get off because you're a kid because the laws are lax. The laws are lax for a reason because in a minute, all of y'all going to be so scared. Y'all going to go to the polls and y'all are going to vote for laws that's like 3 strikes. Remember the 3 strikes?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
In a minute.
Yeah, because we're going to be like, everything's out of control. They're going to want us to do that. Gotcha.
Parenting starts at home. Teach your kids, if you get a call saying, meet me at the mall, and it's your friends, and they get there, it's 12 of them, tell them walk away, because it's no good coming out of that. And if they catch you, and they can, because facial recognition is on your phone. They can do whatever they want to do. They don't want to catch you yet, but when they want to, it's a done deal.
Right. And we
AI
cannot
is here
keep,
to
we need to make sure we're using the word unalive. So we're going to use it, the word responsibly. But it's so interesting because when my son is with my nephews, my sister is always reminding them, don't have your hood on. And it's like, I can see, I live in an area where I see young boys always have their hood on, right? But I have to tell my sons, yeah, not you. You're not going to be able to do that. You got to take the hood off. I have to, teach that. We have to teach our boys a whole different level of if you get
Different
pulled
set of
over,
rules. Yeah.
why you got to have this, why you can't do this. But this vote, this is going to be the first election that my sons are able to vote. And I'm just like, listen, you guys have to fully understand where we are headed if this person comes into office.
Right.
And he's already a criminal. And I'm trying to remind them and help them understand your criminal activity will never lead you to the White House ever, but his can. And so we're going to have a criminal running the state again.
Just that statement. That's insane.
Oh, we have a judge who just got into the Supreme Court and he was under rape charges, a rape investigation, while they was getting him in the Supreme Court. So you're absolutely right. The rules does not apply to them as they do us.
It doesn't apply to everybody.
Our kids now live in their neighborhoods. They go out with them, and you do have to tell them. And that's the unfortunate part, because if it's raining outside, your kid can't put their hood on.
Right. You got to have the little plastic umbrella.
Yeah.
It's.
So I wanted. I just kind of want to go through and read some of the comments that are coming through. Karen, thanks for joining, Karen. She says, thank you, April and Mika, for using your individual and collective voices to uplift and empower men and women. The core of you says powerful. They also say the rollback of right is creating another form of segregation of where people will go to school, look for employment, open businesses, and buy homes. The new form of segregation is happening because the rollback of rights impacts where people can go to school, buy homes, and open businesses.
That's true.
Let's see. Kwame mentions that the potential presidential nominee, I don't know. I just don't know what to call him. He told MAGA to unalive. He told MAGA to unalive his vice president. Like, this is the type of
when it was
unalive, right?
Yeah. It was like,
oh, okay. I thought y'all meant the new. Oh, Jesus.
No,
okay.
no.
Yeah. Oh, he was fine with it.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You know what's crazy,
he is
you guys?
gangster.
This is the crazy part. If said person was to lose again, what does that look like?
What does that look like?
What does that look like? As much as we don't want him in office, I don't know what it's going to look like if he loses again.
Right.
Well, we need to concentrate if he wins. What does that look like for us?
If he wins, you guys get your passports together.
We say that every week.
Get your get it now. Don't wait till then, because you're going to be too late, okay?
Right.
And
it might be, I don't know if y'all watch Handmaid's Tale. It's almost there. You know what I mean?
Almost there.
They just chose the day where passports were canceled. You couldn't leave.
You have to go by the new set of rules.
The new set of rules. And they can do that because that was the 1%. And the 1% has more money than everyone in the nation.
And if you guys look at the episode that she's talking about, it's still on our page. It was the Heritage Foundation that's designing everything they're talking about. And the Heritage Foundation is straight Handmaid's Tale. I don't know if y'all looked at it, but it's literally them trying to roll back to the day when America looked the way they saw fit. And that was them in the head, and we're at the bottom. Period. Point blank.
Right.
Women on the sideline. Yeah.
Raising the
kids.
Right.
At the end of the day, we talk about parables.
Oh gosh. Parable of the sower.
We
talk about that book every week. Just get prepared. I mean, everybody can't go to Africa.
Can y'all
everybody can't go, but some of y'all can go to Canada.
Yeah.
Some of y'all can go to Mexico. Some of y'all can go to Costa Rica or somewhere else. But I don't know. Some of y'all can just stay in the part of Florida that don't mess with Trump. I don't know.
The worst case scenario, if that person got on and they did their 4 years, he's probably going to groom someone at that point to take over. And if they like how it feels, it could be years of that. You understand what I mean? Because now,
right. But I think he's also trying to make it where it's no longer the two terms, like where he can constantly be reelected, right?
Of course he is.
What he's not afraid to do is change laws while he's in office. Those amendments that we haven't had in years, he will make new amendments. Okay, that's the type of president he was, and can still.
And I'm surprised he didn't try and do that, because he, turned over Roe versus Wade, and he did not try to do that one, like the term of a presidency. That was very interesting. So it's going to be on his list. So I don't know what we have to look forward to, but again, just be ready. I think if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And the passport is number one. Because if you do want to go somewhere else, you need your passport. You need get your baby's passport. You get everyone's passport. Make sure you look at it. We all have our passport. I need to check the dates.
And it can't be within 6 months of travel. So it can't expire within 6 months.
Exactly. So that's very important.
Exactly.
I don't want to be fearful. I don't want to
we don't like to give y'all fear monger, but we do like to make people be aware.
Correct.
You do have options.
Aware. Yes.
You do have options. You don't have to sit and lay and wait for the next 4 years before things can change for you. You can decide that, hey, you know what? This not for me. I'm gonna go ahead and head up to Canada.
Right. Canada, here we come. Baby.
Y'all know me, I need some sunlight, but I feel like we need to have these conversations, because this is not just a regular Republican versus Democrat. This is your rights versus zero rights.
Right.
That's it. That's just it. There's no in between. This person is trying to get in here and become the Hitler of America. That's what it's going to look like.
You know what's unfortunate, and I think we're not really paying attention to the little stuff, because I hear too many rappers, I hear too many Black men, I hear too many Blacks in general in a roundabout way, like, oh, it's okay, he's better than this one, he's better. Time out. MAGA means something. MAGA means make America great again. When was it great for white men, y'all? Like, just pay attention to that one line. That's enough for me. That is enough for me, that they're not considering me as a Black woman or my family, So we can go back and forth about who's not doing what for the Black community, but I know for certain that making America great again does not include me.
Does not.
You're not including me when you're saying we're going to make America great again. You're not including me as a Black woman. So that's enough for me. And all you need is one issue to stand on. That's my issue. Okay. So when you have to have these conversations with said Black folks or whomever, white people, ma'am, I'm sorry, white woman. When was America great again, ma'am?
Right. When was it great?
And tell me what part. When
was it great? Because it's not again.
Explain that part to you. What does that mean? Because you're wearing a hat, so that means something to you. When was it great for you? Right. Because when it was great for you, it was horrible for me. Okay. Exactly. So I just don't.
They're just nervous. They're scared, nervous. And they have, and I love that they're just popping up on people at these rallies and asking them questions, and they have no idea what they're talking about. It's really
I saw one of those recently.
At the end of the day, it has nothing to do with said men.
It's about race.
It's about race. That's it.
It's about race.
Don't like that. We are educated. We're better than them in everything. If we put our mind to it, we're gonna accomplish it. When it comes to sports,
if we get
business,
in it, it's us.
Anything, music, we are the elite.
We just
and
add
they know
spice to all of it, and if we're
to everything, right?
Absolutely.
And this is not against white people. It's like, let's understand that. Like, if we're dancing
better.
Putting spice in
right.
it. If we're cooking food,
it's spice to it.
It's spicy.
The little Black girl that won
if we're playing
the
volleyball,
rodeo.
it's the best volleyball match you've ever seen in your life, because there was some flavor.
Beyonce's number one now in country radio. Beyonce is number one. Yes,
we bring color, we bring spice. We're the salt of the earth.
Hello? We are. And there's a lot of fear that comes behind that. Like we're taking stuff.
I mean, Gwyneth Paltrow said it. She said, you know, how we love ourselves is how she was taught to love herself. I didn't say it, she said it, y'all.
Right. It's true.
If we're honest, like, let's just, and I don't know what
Let's
that
just-
is. I think that one day they think that, here's the thing, not only do we bring salt and spice and all the things, all the beautiful things, we don't hold a grudge. And I think that's what they're scared of. Like, if we talk about the past and we
That's
keep bringing
right.
up the past, and if we really, then they'll remember that we did all these things to them. We've never forgotten.
Right.
We've just given
Right.
you love beyond that. We've given you grace because we serve a God who gives us grace. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
And we're not
Right.
trying to walk that path with y'all. That's y'all trauma
That's
to deal
y'all.
with. You know?
Exactly.
So
Right.
we're not
We're just
those
we're
people. We're
steadily
not
trying to
those
forge
savages.
forward.
We never were, you know? So I
That
think
they
they,
famous.
Right.
Yeah.
they don't want to talk about it because it's like, oh, you're going to remember that my people did this to your people. We've never forgot.
Hello. Yeah.
Well, okay, it's so crazy. And I knew especially this last half hour was just going to really fly by because it was such a robust and needed conversation. And I really hope that people continue to have these conversations. And Tomeeka, thank you for acknowledging. You was like, Tasha, it feels like there's a little bit of fear there, because I think we need to be mindful when there is fear coming up and how we need to go, no, we're not going to stand in the fear of this, but we do need to stand on what we get to do with this vote come November. And we got to bring and drag everybody to the polls
Yes.
to really make sure. So we have a few minutes left. So before I have you guys tell how people can connect with y'all, you guys know the fourth, oh my gosh, the fourth annual Shenomenal Women's Brunch is going to be September 21st of 2024. You guys know that Mika is actively involved in that brunch. You absolutely will see her. April is a supporter of the brunch, and thank you for always showing up and for being such a supporter of the Shenomenal Women brand. We have the Shenomenal Women's Retreat. Again, Mika will be leading and facilitating some workshops at the retreat May 17th through 19th in Palm Springs, California. So if you want to find out about all of that, make sure you head on over to shenomenal.com. But I'm going to send it back to you guys because I want you guys to tell people how they can follow you. And April, make sure you tell us about your podcast with your husband.
Okay, so you can follow the podcast. It's After I Do on most radios, Apple and so forth, but also on Facebook. We have a huge following on Facebook. It's called After I Do. You can find us there, and on Instagram. You can follow me. I am April Watkins. My whole name with I am April Watkins on Instagram, and on TikTok, it's April's Expressions. And of course, you can order my products on Honey Body Collection, HBC, honeybodycollection.com.
Perfect. Miss Mika, how can people connect and follow you and see you and hear your voice?
I am at the April and Tomeeka Show on IG. You can find me there too. Conversations with Mika Morris, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, all the places. And also TomeekaMorris.com. Anything that's happening will be there. And yes, I'm on Facebook. I'm under Mika Bracy, and then on
Mika
IG.
Bracy. Okay, and the April and Tomeeka Show airs where? The April and Tomeeka Show airs what, Thursday nights? The April and Tomeeka Show.
Except for tomorrow, because we did this, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm working tomorrow.
Thank you.
Every Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Pacific Time.
And 9.
Yes. Hey, Nikki, thank you for joining. Ladies, it has been just a whole Shenomenal evening. Thank you guys for being a yes to being on this show. You guys are Black history. You are Black legacy. You are building a Black legacy. And again, it's International Women's Month. And so I celebrate and honor the women that you are. And I appreciate being a part of your lives as much as you are a part of mine. So thank you guys so much. And thank you for everybody else. Join us next week. We are going to be.
Oh, I love it.
Yes. Join us next week. We will be talking Black women in health. So I have a wonderful physician's assistant that will be joining us to talk about healthcare for Black women, as well as 2 women, one who had multiple heart attacks that was related to her mental health.
What?
So you guys
I'm gonna
definitely, yes, be here next week when we
Okay.
have such a conversation where we really want to talk about that, because as we know, Black women are not. We're gonna watch it next week. So just be
Okay.
back next week. I will see you guys. Yes, yes. Have a
Okay.
phenomenal week, you guys.
Okay,
Bye.
you too. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.